Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's Easter Friday. Thank you for tuning in to the Delta Report. I'm glad to have you guys here. I'm going to tell you guys what. How long is this going to take before the dollar reaches its demise because of the BRICS currencies? Let's take a look at this. Here's the BRICS nations. They're all standing in unison. We got the three biggest ones there, right in the middle. We got China, and just on the right-hand side of China, we got President Putin, and we got Modi of India right next, and all three of them, and they stand as a block. Very powerful because they're standing in unity together. Now, how long is it going to take? Because they are planning on, let me see, let me pull down here. The BRICS nations are reportedly working on developing a new form of currency. It's going to be a basket currency, guys. And it's expected to be discussed at the next BRICS Leaders Summit, according to a top Russian official. The transition to settlements and national currencies is the next step, and it's the first step to settlements in national currencies. The next one is providing the circulation of digital and another form of fundamentally new currency in the nearest future. The deputy chairman of Russian State Duma was quoted as saying, new currencies, and you know what? They're planning on backing it with gold. So basically the handwriting is on the wall for the world reserve currency status for the dollar at this point. But the question mark in this show we're asking is, how long is this actually going to take to unfold? And you know, you see a lot on YouTube, and the dollar's done. It's over, it's finished, you know. Not necessarily true. Not just yet. Don't jump the gun on this. It's going to take a little while. But ultimately down the road, the plan is, of the BRICS, is to form a new currency bloc. And my thinking on this is that they're probably going to be successful because we've built the fundamental of the currency bloc that now exists here in the West on a Ponzi scheme. More than a generational Ponzi scheme, a Ponzi scheme that's run for hundreds of years, over 100 years, this currency scheme. We used to be pegged to gold. And even past the Bretton Woods, we were still pegged to gold. I think it was 1944, if I remember correctly, Bretton Woods. But the next big move that came was in 1971, something called the Nixon shock. And no wonder he shocked the world, but he said it was temporary. He said as a temporary measure to stop the speculators, he said, I am informing Connolly to remove the peg of gold to the dollar, and thereby he made the dollar float free, and all the other fiat currencies of the West that are linked to the dollar all became floating free too. But what happened was in 1971, Kissinger went over and he made a deal with the oil-producing nations that we know as OPEC to only sell oil in dollars, and thereby he made a loose peg to oil. This peg is now being broken. So this pretty much ensures that the dollar is nothing more, nothing less than a currency that's not backed by anything at all. And they're going to back their currency with gold. I would say that they're getting a leg up, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Let's take a look here. There's an effect that's happened to silver, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. Here's the Federal Reserve Board, and this is the borrowing that's went on at the Federal Open Market discount window to the banks. And you see right over top of my head right here, we see that they borrowed over $400 billion. Now a little bit of it's coming back because these are loans. But it's on two things that have driven the price of silver up. Two big things, major things in my mind, is one, they can see that they're going to monetize. This is evidence right here that they're going to monetize. They're going to monetize the banking system by any means necessary to provide liquidity. Taking a look at the discount window, what it's for, it says the Federal Reserve lending to depository institutions. The discount window plays an important role in supporting the liquidity and stability of the banking system and the effective implementation of monetary policy by providing ready access to funding. The discount window helps depository institutions manage their liquidity risks efficiently to avoid actions that have negative consequences for their customers, such as withdrawing credit during times of market stress. And that's what we just saw happen. That is a sharp spike upwards in the price of silver. If we take a look here, this is what we see right here in this bottom chart. We see it going up from, actually it's on this upper chart too. This is March. And this is exactly when the crisis happened. Look at where the price of silver was. The 7th of March. It was 20 bucks. And you see this up daily. Up, all the way up to 25 bucks. That's a big increase in the price of silver. Caused by what? Well, they see that there's endless support for the banking system. They're going to make the banking system whole. And so far, what we've seen in this is we've seen this overnight window lending. Now, there's a key word for you guys, is lending by the Federal Reserve to these banks to supplement them during these times of stress when there's overheated amount of withdrawals happening to keep these banks solvent. And we did see 3 big banks go down, starting with Silicon Valley Bank. But the overall theme here is that the Fed is not going to let these banks fail in a massive way, especially the big 6 banks in the United States. The strategically important, too big to fail banks. And this supplement that the Fed's going to do, and it's going to have to do to maintain the economy, means that they're putting it on the people's tab, basically. You know, the debt is like almost $32 trillion. Well, we're coming around for a big raise in that amount that's owed. We're deeply in debt. This means the United States government is in the red. It means our currency is in the red. And all of the fiat currencies that are pegged to our currency are in the red. And now we have the BRICS coming along, and they're going to create a currency that's in the black. What do you think's going to happen? But this is going to take a little while. So you guys wanted to know how long it's going to take. And I'm getting to it, guys. What we're looking at is probably a process that I'm thinking is going to take about 2 years. Maybe 3. And the real move in silver and gold is going to come when not so much they're funding the banks through the discount window, but when they start to do real bailouts again, and they start to do real quantitative easing again, and they're completely, the interest rates, they have to start controlling the interest rates through something called yield curve control, which is, all of this is coming. Have you got your silver and gold? Because if you're all you've got is dollars, and I'm going to tell you something. You say, well, I'm invested in the stock market. That's not dollars. Yes, it's dollars. I'm sorry to tell you this. And there's a lot of counterparty risk. If you're invested in bonds, treasuries, money market accounts, CDs, the list is endless. It's all dollars. It's all dollar denominated. The only way you can get out of the dollar is a very narrow avenue. And it's gold, silver, and cryptos. And I don't fully trust cryptos. Now, I'm not giving you guys financial advice, but you need to consider these things because it's your money. And you worked hard for it. And you want to be able to have spending power when the dollar starts to lose value very quickly in the very near future. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.